Hey guys, today we'll start with a new topic and a very important topic in list, that is list comprehension. Now, what is list comprehension? Why it is very important? Because this helps in a lot of optimization of your codes when you are writing them. Yeah. Now, what is list comprehension? Now, when I'm talking about list comprehension, it is a concise way to create lists. Yeah, in a very concise way. Uh, Now, it is similar to a set builder notation in mathematics, if anyone has done maths previously. Now, it is used to define a list based on existing iterable objects, such as list, tuple, or a string, and apply an expression to each element in the iterable. Yeah. So you can create a new list using existing list, tuples, or string, and you can move through the iterables very quickly with optimized code. Yeah. Quickly, we'll see what is the syntax of list comprehension. Usually, there is a simple syntax to it. We'll first understand this entire syntax. So we need to specify the new list name. So I'll write n list. So that is my new list that would be created using list comprehension. Then you need to have a square brackets, yeah, to enclose your entire comprehension or the thing that you have to do. Then it will have an expression, yeah, any expression that you want to execute. Then you'll have the item that has to be iterable, yeah, in iterable. So the iterable would be your list uh, or your tuple or a string. Yeah. So there are two, three important factors that you need to understand. As first is the expression. So that is the any kind of function or any kind of value that you want to pass. Yeah. Item is just a variable which will help to store the iterable values. Yeah. So iterable is the list, tuple, or the string that you will pass on. And that is a condition. Yeah. Now condition is optional. So let's quickly jump on to an example as we understand. Yeah. So let me iterable is the sequence of elements, and condition, as I said, is an optional thing. Yes. So we also need to know what are the benefits of iterable, which we'll quickly see when we are going through the various examples. Yes, I wanted to know your people to understand why we are using list comprehension over for loops or any other thing. Yeah. So it is mostly used for conciseness. So when I'm talking about list comprehension, it is more concise and readable, which we'll see in examples, as compared to traditional loops or allowing you to create a list with less code. Yeah. Efficiency, it increases the efficiency. List comprehensions are generally faster and more efficient than loops. Yeah. So first was conciseness. That is what I told you, which will make your code look easier to understand. Yeah. Then is the efficiency of your code. That's very important for any programmer, that he has uh, a clear code which which is understood and very much efficient when it is running it with a large amount of data. Next thing is the clarity part, where list comprehension results in clearer and more expressive code, making it easier to understand for the purpose of logic or operations we perform. Yeah. Next is reduce chances of error. Yeah. Since list comprehension are more compact, there is less chance of errors compared to traditional loops. Yeah. Reducing the likelihood of bugs in your code. Yeah. So four very important advantages that you have that you'll see again when we write a program. So let's write a simple program. Yeah. By which you'll understand how this code works entirely. So let me write a example of a list comprehension. Now, what we can do is, suppose I have a string, yeah, which has this hello world, yeah. Now, what I've done is I'm trying to create a list with upper characters, yeah. So I'll say uppercase string. So I'll convert this entire string to an uppercase string. Yeah. What I'll do is my function would be expression would be char dot upper. Yeah. So I am taking each character from the string. Yeah. So this is the item that has been fetched from the above string. Yes. What I'm doing is I'm converting the expression that is being done is char dot upper. Yeah. For char in string. Now I'm giving a condition if char is an alphabet. Yeah. So it will only convert those letters which are alphabets. Yeah. So let's see what is the output of this string. I hope your people have understood. Let me repeat it again. We have seen the syntax earlier. We had an expression. Yeah. So this is the expression char dot upper for every character. So this is the item that we have assumed, which will pick one character from the string. Yeah. String is what we have, the variable with hello world. Yeah. So every item in iterable is the string and the condition. So I'm checking whether the character is an alphabet, then only it will convert it to upper. Yeah. So let's see the output. So you'll find you'll get a new list with all these alphabets, all the entire string been converted to upper letters. Only if it has an alphabet. Yeah. So you can see this. Each alphabet in this particular string has been converted to upper case. But there is one more change that has happened, that is it has stored the entire output in a list. Yeah. So using list comprehension, we iterated through each character, check if it is a letter, and if so, convert it to uppercase, resulting in a new list with a uppercase letters. Yeah. Now we can do list comprehension with lambda. Okay. We'll see in my subsequent video what is lambda as well. So let me first bold. Yeah. So in Python, lambda is a keyword. Okay. Now it is used to create anonymous functions. So I can create a lot of anonymous functions. Uh, Now this anonymous function is a function defined without a name. So usually when you define a function, what you have to do is you have to say def and the function name. Yeah, function name. Yes, so this is how you define a function and you return a value. But with lambda, you do not need to define a function. Now, these functions are created using the lambda keyword followed by a comma, separated list of arguments. Yeah. Now, this is again followed by a colon and then the expression to be evaluated. So we can use list comprehension with lambda by applying the lambda function to each element of the iterable. And that can be done on the expression. Yes. So let me quickly show you an example by which you will be able to understand the lambda function. So suppose I have this list, uh, numbers list. Okay, I'll write this numbers list. Yeah, I have this list 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5. Yeah, and I want to suppose square this entire, yeah, or I want to double this entire digits. Yeah, so I'll say double list. Yeah, so I have this lambda function. Yeah, x, I have assumed my input type. Yeah, that is my argument. Then I have the colon, as I have told you in the theory. Then you have the function. So what I'm doing is I am multiplying it by 2. Yeah, I want to double it. So I am multiplying it by 2 for x in number list. So it is checking each number in the number list. Yeah, and it is storing it in double list. And lastly, let's print double list. Okay, there's a spelling mistake. Okay. So what I'm doing in this program here is I am assuming a list with certain numbers. Using the lambda function, I am doubling the numbers that are available in the list for each value in the list. Yeah. And print the entire double. So let's see what is the output. Okay, let me see. I have done something wrong. Okay, lambda function, I have to put it in quotes and then have to put X. Yeah, because I have to assume X. Yeah, you see this? So I have this lambda function which has an expression, and for X, yeah, for X in number list, I want to double it. Yeah, so what is happening is lambda function is executing in the original list, and it is automatically doubling the numbers based on the expression that we have given. So x into 2. Okay, and you can see 2 into 1 is 2, 2 into 2 is 4, subsequently 2 is to 5 is 10. Yeah. Now when I'm saying uh, there is a way in which it executes, you can have nested loops as well. Yeah, so you can have nested loops uh, along with the list comprehension. Yes, so let's see that. Let's see how we can do nested loop. That is one of the question one of my student asked me whether we can do a nested loops with list comprehension. Yes, we can do that. So how do we do that? Nested loops with list comprehension. Yeah. So in nested loop in Python is a loop inside another loop. So where the inner loop is executed multiple times for each iteration of the loop. Now we can use nested loops in list comprehensions by placing one loop inside another, allowing for concise creation of list from multiple iterations. Yes. So usually how we perform a for loop is what we write is for I in certain range. And then we put in another in range and the code block. So this is a typical for loop syntax that happens, and there are multiple lines of code. Wherein, suppose I have this code, suppose I have list one, which has numbers 1, comma 2, comma 3. Yeah. And I have another set of numbers which has the numbers as 4, comma 5, comma 6. Yeah. So what I'll do is I will try to print these two numbers together. So what I'll do is x, comma y. So that's my list comprehension that I want. So I want to store it in tuples for each value, for x in list 1 and for y in list 2. So what happens is for every x, so if when the loop runs, it goes to the first number, that is 1. It runs 4, 5, 6, and it will keep on giving 1, 4, 1, 5, and 1, 6. So these are the three tuples it will get. Then it will move to the second number, that is 2. Then it will again give 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6. Yeah. So let me see. Let's see what is the output of this particular. You can see this 1, 4. So it has taken the first number of list 1 according to x in list 1 and for y in list 2. So that is the same as we did for loop. It is in one line right now. And we can see 1, comma 4, 1, comma 5, and 1, comma 6. Same way, then it iterates to the list 1 second number, 2, that's 2, comma 4, 2, comma 5, 2, comma 6. Again, it iterates to the third number in list 1, and then again it runs to the list 2 for the other three numbers. So this is how you can use nested loops in order to have combination of items from two different loops. And as I have stored in tuples, you can multiply it, you can square it, you can do anything that you want. I can also probably multiply them. Yeah. Yeah. And let's see what is the result. You can see this 4, comma 5, comma 6, 8, 10, 12. So it is getting multiplied. 1 into 4, 1 into 5, 1 into 6. Then 2 into 4, 2 into 5, 2 into 6. Yeah. So you can have any kind of expression as such. I have just stored them in tuples as of now to make the combination of those lists. So this is how you can use nested loops within list comprehension. Now you can have conditions as well. Now you remember if you want to just uh, get the even numbers. Yeah. If you want to just get the even numbers from a list of numbers. Yeah. Conditions. Right? List comprehension. Yeah. Let me just make it a bit easier to understand. So what happens is conditionals in Python refer to the use of if statement, if, elif, and else to control the flow of a code based on certain conditions. Now they allow you to execute different blocks depending on the true or false value or that whatever that you get from that condition. We can use conditionals in list comprehension by using them after the iterable, as we have seen earlier. We can use the if condition. Yeah. Now, suppose I want to find the even number. So we are trying to let's find even numbers from range of values. Yeah, from range of values. Yeah. How would we put that? So suppose I have list 1 equals to straight away I'll write a list comprehension. Yeah. X. I am assuming the value to be X. Then I'm giving an iterable. Yeah. In range 1, comma 30, 31. Yeah. So I'm giving a range that from 1 to 31, I want to find out all the even numbers. Yeah. And I'm giving a condition. So x mod of 2. If you remember the operations that we have, numerical or logical operations or numerical operations that we have seen, in which we use this percentage sign for a mod character. That is, it finds out for the remainder of a particular division. So if the remainder is 0, it will include it in the list or it will not. So what this particular expression is doing right now, it is assuming an expression as x, yeah, for every value in the range from 1 to 31, it will check whether that value is divisible by 2 or not, and it will give you the even number. So if it is divisible by 2, obviously it is a even number. Yeah. You can see that. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14. So every number over here has been divisible by 2. Yeah. Hence the remainder will be always 0. Yeah. Now I've been telling you continuously that list comprehension is better in efficiency as compared to for loop. Let's try and understand by doing it by getting into an example. Yeah. So list comprehension and for loops are both used for iteration, but they differ in terms of syntax and usage. Yeah. So list comprehension are like shortcuts for creating lists in Python. They let you generate a new list by applying an operation. For loop, on the other hand, is a control flow statement. If you have reviewed my control flow videos earlier, you can see how it is controlled using various conditions. Now, for loop, you can have break, you can have continue, which we do not have it over here. Yeah. So for loop, on the other hand, is a control flow statement used to iterate over elements of an iterable one by one. So this is the biggest difference. So list comprehensions creates a new list. It will always create a new list. Yeah. Whereas for loop not necessarily will create a list. It can create a lot of other things. Yeah. And it will iterate over elements of an iterable by one executing a block of code for each element. Yes. So you need to understand the difference between list comprehension and what is for loop. Now, list comprehensions are often preferred for a simpler operations, while for loops offer more flexibility for complex tasks. So that you need to understand. So I'm just putting a note so that you can understand that loops with for loop, which is a flow statement, are mostly used for uh, complex to get a flexibility on the complex task. But let's not get into that. Yeah. Let's first understand what we are talking about when we are talking about comparing list comprehension and for loop. So let me first write a small statement. Suppose I want to separate each character within a particular uh, list. So I have this I have this list. Yeah. And I am saying for ch, yeah, in I scan analyze. Yes, that is the for loop. Yes, I am saying if ch not in, so if it is not an vowel, yeah, it will print that character. So A, E, I, O, U. So if there is I, O, U, sorry. Yeah. So any of these characters are not a vowel, then it will print that character. So I'll say if okay, is not in A, E, I, O, U, yeah. So it will say cas.append.ch. Yeah. and let's print the list. So what I'm trying to do is I am assuming the list first. Then I am checking whether this particular string has a vowel, and then if it is not a vowel, it will keep on updating this list. And lastly, we are printing the characters. So this vowels using for loop. Yes. Remove vowels using for loops. I am vowels using for loop. So you can see this. It has removed all the vowels. Yes. Uh, First of all, okay, let me make it lower because there are some uppercase characters which I have not assumed here, or I have to write ch dot lower. Okay. Ch dot lower. Yeah. We can see this, all the vowels which were there, whether uppercase or lowercase, it has automatically removed all the vowels from this particular. Yeah. Now let's run the same thing with list comprehension. Yeah. So I'll say remove vowels. We'll see how easy the code becomes and how clear the code becomes when we try to using list comprehension. Yes. So we have this characters. So let me run this. So what we'll have is cats. Yeah. And then we have CH for CH in iScan and LIS. If CH is lower, I have put the condition again. Yeah. Not in AEIOU. Then it will store it in the cache and it will print it. So where we had a 5 line of code to get the vowels out of a particular string, I have to write only one code and see how clear my code looks. Yes, I have got the same output which I have got earlier. Yeah, but the code is just 2 lines. Yeah, and it has given me the desired output. So efficient it is. Yeah. We can take one more example where you can square numbers. Yeah. So I can just square equal to x into x. Yes. For x in range 1 to 11. So it will square all the numbers from 1 to 10. Always the upper range is -1. So let's see. Yeah, we can see squaring of numbers. So this is how it becomes very, very easier for you to run through a list and get an output as a list, wherein you would have written a much more lines of code to get the required output. And it is more efficient, as I said earlier. Yeah, so these are the advantages. So it becomes very concise for you to read. Yeah, it's very concise, right? When we read this, where for CH, for CH in iScanLR, so every character in iScanLR, I have assumed this variable. This is the item that will be run through each character, condition, what I have to do and what I have to check. Yeah. And accordingly, based on this fulfilled condition, it will store the value in the variable that we are assigning for the list. So it becomes very concise. The code becomes very efficient because it has just one line of code rather running through multiple lines of code. The code is pretty clear. We can easily read through this single line what we are supposed to do. Yeah. And since it is clear, there are very little chances of error. Yes. So this is all about list comprehensions. Hope you like this video and you have learned about list comprehension, which will use it for your programming. Do like this video. Do comment if you have any suggestions or information you want to share with your colleagues or the people who would be seeing this video. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can get such kind of insights or such kind of videos readily available at your inbox. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening to this and have a great day.